What's going on, kid family? Welcome back to the channel. And on this video I'm going to be talking to you guys about the different kinds of paints in the automotive world. There's so many of them. How do you know which one is the right one for you? So stay tuned to find out. Alright, so I'm going to break it down really simply for you guys, because this whole topic about automotive paints and finishes is crazy. There's just so much different types of primers, different types of paints, different types of solvents that go into these paints. Same thing with clear coats. There's just ratios and products, and it gets very confusing. But let's dumb it down for myself and for you guys. And I'm sorry if you guys are looking for a totally in-depth video here, but this is not the video for you, so you can click off right now. But for those of you interested and that don't know about anything as far as painting goes, you might find some beneficial information here. So there's a few different kinds of paints, and we're going to stick to the topic of paints for the sake of time and this video. But the things I'm going to talk about here in this video about paint is going to be able to relate to primers and clear coats as well. So let's keep it simple. There are two types of paints. There is a single stage paint and a dual stage paint. In the single stage paint, the color, which is called technically the base coat, and the clear coat, which protects the paint, the base coat, and gives it shine and durability, are mixed together. So it is a two products in one combo. So once you do your primer, you lay down your single stage paint, again, which is that combo, and you let it dry and everything is finished. In a dual stage paint, once you get the primer laid down, you're just gonna lay down the base coat. The base coat is the color, the paint, the actual color that's gonna come through. So once the base coat is laid down, then you apply your final coat, which is the clear. Okay, so unlike the single stage paint, the dual stage paint, you apply the base coat and the clear coat separately, whereas in the single stage it was applied together. Now there's a lot of pros and benefits of those two variations of painting, but right now in this day and age, the dual stage paint is most commonly used on most cars. Some DIYers might do the single stage paint if they're repainting at home, but any professional shop is going to do a dual stage paint. It lasts longer, it protects better, it has more shine, it's easier to blend later on when you're repainting certain parts of the car. So dual stage is where it's at. So you see, all these paints that we have in cans are single stage paint. The color and the clear is all in one can. It is mixed, pre-mixed, and it's going to lay down. It's going to lay down pretty good, but again, a single stage paint is not going to be as durable over time and provide the finish and protective barrier you want on an automotive surface, such as your paint. Don't get me wrong, these work good on some applications and they're used all over the world. So there are three types of finishes at the end of the day that you can have. You can have a solid color, whether it's red, black, blue, yellow. You can have a metallic color, which is going to have your solid color with flakes in the paint, and the flakes can be different kinds of flakes. So you can have like a yellow color with a metallic black, let's say. It's very nice because these metallic colors hide a lot of scratches, and at the same time they make the car shine a lot. So a lot of people are spraying metallics these days, and if you're getting a metallic car sometimes from the factory, it might be an additional option, it might be additional charge. And the last thing is a pearlescent, a pearl coat. Pearl coats are another way to increase the depth, the shine, the uniqueness of the color. So depending on which paint you want to paint your car and which finish you want to achieve, whether it's metallic, pearlescent, or a base, it's all going to affect the total cost of the paint job. We already know emissions are getting stricter. California, you can't even have a loud exhaust anymore, which is getting crazy. And the same things apply to the automotive world when it comes to spraying. There is rules and regulations and law that protects the environment from these harmful chemicals, these solvents that go up in the air. Especially when you're painting, you want to make sure you're staying protected. But as time and technology is progressing, we're moving away from solvent paint and we're moving towards waterborne paint. Okay, so let me explain the difference. Solvent paint is pretty much you got your paint mixed with a solvent, and these solvents can be paint thinner, lacquer thinner, mineral spirits, and all these turpentine solvents. Okay, water-based paint, like the name suggests, it is mixed with water, so the paint mixes with water. Now, definitely a lot less toxins and chemicals coming out in the air from water-based paint, but it requires a lot of skill to paint water-based paint. It's a different technique to spraying. Somebody that's spraying solvent and you have them spray water-based paint, it's not going to get good results right off the bat. It's a different technique. It requires a different technique to spraying, so it takes time and practice to spray good. But at the end of the day, it is helping the environment and it is helping the painter, because this is a toxic field, guys. If you are spraying DIY, make sure you stay protected. All right, so just like the safety aspect of paint has been increasing over the years and paint has been getting safer to spray, so has the actual technology in the paint. We went from spraying lacquer paints back in the 1920s to the 1960s on cars. Now, these didn't offer great protection. They weren't as reliable. They needed a lot of coats to spray. Wow, a dragonfly just flew by me. They needed a lot of coats to spray. Yeah, not a durable finish, and it was very toxic to spray lacquer paint. So as we went into the 1980s, enamel paints came into production, and enamel paints were just, again, it's a different way to mix the paint, the actual color, with a solvent. So enamel paints became a lot more popular. They were known to have a nice gloss hard shell finish, and they were used from anywhere from cars to anything else. But again, technology is improving, and I think the most effective way and the newest technology we have here to paint is urethane paints. Just a better protection. Just a better protection overall. These urethane paints are probably the best ones right now. They offer the most protection, the best bonding between the solvent and the paint, and that's what you got to do right now if you want the most professional shop finish. Urethane paint is where it's at. But keep in mind, if you're moving up the ladder from lacquer, which is you can't really find right now, to enamel to urethane, the cost increases by a lot. Same thing with solvent-based paint and water-based paint. Water-based paint is a lot more expensive. So it's sad we live in a world where the better product and the safer product is going to be a lot more expensive, where your cheaper product that's more toxic to you is affordable. Most people are going to go for the affordable route and choose the lower quality product with more harmful benefits. So that's, again, I'm saying, staying protected during the paint job is crucial. And as an example here, I got two spray paints. One is a rust tough enamel, and the other one is for high heat engine painting. These are both enamel paints, and again, like I said, enamel paints are very, very popular, used all over the place. You can spray enamel almost on anything, and it gives great protection. But here's the problem from someone spraying an enamel. And here's one more thing you guys need to know about these kind of finishes. They're not that durable coming out from the can, because these paints are 1K paint. And what I mean by 1K paint is that pretty much, again, the clear and the base coat is mixed together in one. If you really want a durable finish, whether it's your primer, whether it's your paint, or whether it's your clear coat, you want a 2K product. And by 2K, I mean, in the can, there's going to be half the can, let's say, is going to be your paint, and on the other half, sealed off, is going to be your hardener. That's the good thing about 2K, is it has a hardener in the can. Usually those 2K cans have a little nipple here that you got to break and push in, and it's going to mix up all those chemicals together. And then when you spray, because it has that hardener, that paint job, that finish is going to be a lot more durable. And that's the next thing I want to talk to you guys about. The difference between 1K, 2K paint jobs. Anything you paint that's already pre-mixed without a hardener isn't going to last as long. So if you want a good finish, you need a 2K product. Hell, I've seen people spray painting their front lips on their cars with a base coat. They spray their color, and then they take a 2K clear over that base coat, and it just comes out great. It looks fantastic, almost as good as spraying from a gun. So 1K clear is going to give you a decent finish and it's going to last a decent amount of time. But if you're really looking to seal the deal and you want a hard, durable finish, let's say for your front lip, which is going to encounter a lot of rocks, chips, and debris flying, you definitely want that 2K product on the finish. Same thing with primers from the can. Typically all these primers you see at the store that you can just go and prime something is a 1K primer. There's no hardener mixed into that primer. So again, if you're already starting the foundation without a nice hardener, the product's probably not going to last as long. So we will be spraying with our central pneumatic spray gun from Harbor Freights. We already got the gun set up. We already mounted the water filter and the pressure regulator. Check out videos in the description for all that, or check out my playlist. But let's talk about the paint that we will be using to spray some panels that we found that we're going to be practicing on. Considering the cost, the effectiveness, considering that I'm a noob at all of this, we are going to be going with the old system of Rust-Oleum paint. We got these 1-quart containers, 32 fluid ounces, and we got beautiful yellow paint. And if you guys didn't guess it was going to be yellow, I put a lot of hints out here and the yellow spray can earlier. So we are going with beautiful, beautiful yellow color, and we do have a primer here from Rust-Oleum. These are enamel paints, and a lot of people are actually spraying their whole cars with this paint and this kind of primer. Whether it's going to last forever, probably not. Is it going to give you the best finish? Probably not. If you're getting into the whole journey of spray painting, this is a perfect beginner product to use to learn how to spray, to check the pattern, to learn how to mix paints, use solvents and whatnot. And again, these are 1K products. This is just a primer without a hardener, and this is a paint. Again, this is a single stage paint because the gloss and the paint is mixed together here. There is a way you can actually add hardener into either the primer and the paint. You can kind of make it a 2K product, but we're not going to be messing with that. We're just going to see as plain as we can how just a regular Joe with regular paint jobs, no special additives, is going to do. All right, guys, thank you for watching my channel. If you learned something new, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you're interested in seeing a regular Joe start painting something with a spray gun from Harbor Freights, and we'll see the results.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya. Kid from California, trying to make it in life. In school they never taught ya. Dreams of my own.